Nigel, season 15, we now have our top 8, but I want to talk about people who are maybe new to the show this season. How is this top 10, well now top 8, different to the years before?
It's extremely good is what it is. We've always had good top 10s, I think, but this one feels a little bit special. And I think it's because people that I wasn't expecting to come through, like Slavic and Genesee, are magnificent. You can't beat Jensen and JJ either. Each couple brings something different. So I know I'm going to be really upset to lose everybody this season.
How was it now for you tonight, having to choose two to go home? I mean, us watching, we can't even imagine how difficult that must be for you, but you having to make the decision.
Well, no, the judges. It was tough, but it was made a little easier because of the tap routine last week. And also we've always felt there was a sort of lack of connection between the pair of them. So
people have to go.
It worked out as a couple going, but it could have been, individuals.
For sure. So what advice do you have now for the top 8 going forward to really just give it their all? I think the first live show nerves are now really out the way. We're going into week 3 next week. So what would you tell them?
The dancing's superb, so I'm not worrying too much about the dancing. So now it's all about connection. Yes. I mean, you saw tonight that little routine with Slavic and Genesee. We weren't worried that his arm wasn't straight or he didn't point his toes. They were having so much fun and affection between themselves. The judges, I must be honest, are hoping that they actually date.
I mean, we can feel that chemistry on screen.
Fabulous.
Amazing.
Wonderful. Young love.
Yeah. Well, we'll put that out there. How's that? Guys, do us proud. Ooh, a lot of emotions tonight, a lot of tears. But that's just such an amazing thing about dance, how it really just can speak to you and bring those emotions out.
Yeah, I mean, it's an expression, and I think that it's the most beautiful when you see someone completely raw and vulnerable, because it is honestly a courageous thing to do.
For sure, for sure. And I know that you and Twitch maybe want to do one of those routines. I was in the room and I heard you say that.
Yeah, we want to do the fever routine by Mandy Moore. It's just so beautiful and about performance and control, and it was Magda and Darius who did it. Darius, yeah, they just crushed it.
Phenomenal. Now tonight we obviously had to send 2 people home, which I'm sure is a very challenging thing for you as judges. You not only get to watch and just enjoy it, but you really have to critique and then send 2 people home. So how was that tonight, being the first time?
I mean, I think that as the competition progresses, it will get harder and harder. But it is a competition at the end of the day. And now that I've done this once, I feel like I have a better grasp on what that means.
Yeah. And now it's your second time round judging with So You Think You Can Dance. We are in the second live show. Is there a difference that you can compare yourself to from last season in the live shows to now?
I feel like I just feel a little bit more comfortable. Yeah.
Enjoying it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Well, thank you for your time and all the best for next week, having to send more people home, which is horrible.
But I know. Yep, it is.
Mary, this is now week 2 of live shows. You're having to send 2 people home. Lots of 2s going on here.
I know. There is a lot of 2s happening tonight.
Is that hard for you to send people home?
Of course it's hard for me to send people home. Nobody wants to go home. Everybody wants to stay at the party unless they're already exhausted. Then they might okay, I was ready. But
they want to stay on your train.
Too. I haven't brought the train out yet, have I?
Oh, that's true. I'm a little bit ahead here.
I better get to it, huh? Somebody's going to need some first class ticket, because that means you're in the top 4.
Oh, and that's going to come around so quick.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully that comes out next week sometime.
Oh, well, guys, up your game. And on that note, do you have any advice now for the top 8 moving forward? I think the nerves from the first live show is out the window, so now they can really just enjoy the moment and focus. What would you have to tell them?
Well, I think that they all know that they have to and some did tonight. They let that that wall down, and look at Slavic, got all vulnerable on us. It brought me to tears. Damn you! No.
Me too. Yay!
Even his jive gave me a tear. I never cry in jive. Stop that. But I think it's because, and it's so endearing when you get a street dancer, that is untrained and even in his own hip hop, that all of a sudden he can catch you. with his feeling and emotion, and that you really have to go down to the raw, bare you, and that's not easy to do because we're all used to be in a certain way in public and around people and afraid to, oh, if I do this, will I look bad? I mean, you have to really seriously trust the choreographer and what they're telling you to keep in it, keep doing this, keep doing that, and just show me you, and that's what he was able to do. And when both numbers, which was shocking, like I said, I have never had a tear for a jive in all these seasons, and there's something about that kid. I know he's the underdog, but there's still something special about it. It's so endearing that he keeps on just trying his heart out, and that's like, wow.
But that's the thing about the show as well, is that it's not necessarily the best dancer, it's the most favorite, it's the one that speaks to you, but you feel something.
That's absolutely right. Sometimes it's not the most technical dancer that wins this show, and that you can see why. But don't get me wrong, we still got strong technical dancers that are setting the world on fire with their dancing, and talking about Hanalei and JJ, in both their numbers were just spectacular, with my favorite number of the evening really was the African jazz.
Oh, yes. He never fails, really.
No.
Never. Never fails with that choreography. Absolutely phenomenal.
I think he upped his game this time, to be honest with you. And especially since these kids had 2 dances to do, he was rough on them, because that you can tell that takes a lot out of you, what that routine was asked of them.
Yeah, I think we should at one point maybe just reenact the spider. I kind of like that move.
All right, here we go. No.
Amazing, Mary. Well, thank you for your time, and good luck for next week, having to do another tough job.
Excited to see what's going to come up next week.
Amazing, thank you. Lovely to see you. And you said 10 years ago you auditioned for the show, and here you are judging the show.
Absolutely.
How is that full circle for you?
I mean, it's pretty surreal, it's because also there's a lot that I owe that's going on in my life to this show, but for them actually accepting me as a cast, and then my journey through the show. So to be able to be on the other side of it and at least give some constructive criticisms and feedbacks, and hopefully empower the contestants as they go on. It's been, it's surreal. It's super full circle. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine telling the Twitch that auditioned that one day you're going to be sitting there next to Nigel, next to Mary, and actually critiquing, giving advice?
I had always hoped in some way, form, or capacity that I would be able to come back and help with the show or something like that. And it's been awesome. Yeah.
Now tonight, a lot of tears, a lot of emotions.
Oh, yes.
Everyone is on fire, but you also had to send home 2 people. That's the first time for you guys having to do that kind of judging on the show. How tricky is that for you as a judge, as a dancer, knowing what it's like being on that stage?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a twofold thing. It's really tricky because it sucks, because you don't want to see anybody go home, and you want everybody to continue on this journey, because this bubble that you're in for this amount of time, this season that it goes on, the growth that you experience within this time is something that you can do your best to try to explain, but you really don't know until you've been through it. Like the work ethic that you actually learn. Like, you hadn't been working hard until you've been through So You Think You Can Dance. You know what I mean? And so to have people be able to go on that journey is awesome. But at the same time, it's a television show, and part of that is competition, meaning somebody has to leave. But at the end of the day, this is still a very small blip, or even like just maybe a little larger one on your huge mural of life, right?
I mean, perfect example, right here.
So this is so while some people might leave a little earlier than they would like to, they should still hit the ground running, and also be proud that they are a part of the So You Think You Can Dance family
yes.
and / legacy, because it's a good one, man.
Yeah,
it's a good one to be part of.
And I was saying to Mandy, because also so many are nominated, choreographers are nominated for Emmys, like you're still up against each other, you're competing against each other, but you're still a family, and we can feel that love.
Absolutely.
You sense that love, and that's something special in dance.
Of course, it's super special in dance, and I think also too, it's just like we also have to remember too that even though for show purposes and for like making worldly sense, we are going against each other, but even though like we're kind of competing, we're always building with each other, always. So it's just like, So You Think You Can bringing dancers on, so is Dancing with the Stars and World of Dance and all that, and all of those things are successful, so all of us are winning as dancers. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, we can be against each other as far as like ratings and all that stuff like that, but like at the end of the day, like we're all winning, man. Like we're all building together, and dance is a main character now because of the shoulders that because of the grounds that other people have laid for us, man. So we can respect that, you know.
100%. Amazing. I love that. Oh, jeez, look at that energy. Flicking my cord. Woo!
That's finesse right there. That's finesse.
Twitch, thank you so much. You're amazing and so nice to see you.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Nigel Lithgow, and you have just been buzzed.